Welcome back, everybody. Today, as always, I'm going to break down one of the events we have going on here. This is the Valentine's Day event, right? So Valentine's Day is coming up in 4 days. So as always, they came out with an event to support the American holidays, at least on our servers over here. If you go under your hot events, there's a piece to this that I think is really cool. And the only reason I invested in this one, but at the same time, it's not our main event, so I will go into the main event first. And we've seen this one before, the double wheels, you have the different currency, you have the silver currency and the gold currency, in this case, the rose silver coin and the rose gold coin, okay? The ones to pay attention to here is that this event structure is much like the other ones that were harder to come by the rarest coins, meaning that you have a 1 in 8 shot to get 3 of the rare currencies. So with that being said, if you were to go ahead and take advantage of this event in the way that is normally structured for the top-ups, in the two $50 increments to grab $100 to get the main majority of the keys here for you off the initial consumption, that's going to net you, assuming you spend, like we did before, 50 of the red keys a day, over the course of the entire event. Get the extra keys back because you get 18 back a day just from using them. You convert your 5 keys a day from the yellow keys to the red keys, so on and so forth. You're going to end up with just over 230 of the gold keys for you, right? So the red keys, that, if the statistically speaking, is going to net you 88 of the rose gold coin currency, so the main currency in this event. You'll end up with over 1,200, statistically, over 1,200 of the rose silver coins, but at the same time, that's still not a guarantee that you're going to get one of these main prizes. And I know if you've seen my prior videos, that is pretty linear to the ones where it only has one option here to gain one of these. Some of the other events, they'll have 2 of them. One will be 5 and one will be 2. So you can average a little bit differently. You have a 1 in 4 shot to grab 3.5 opposed to a 1 in 8 shot to get 3. So with that being said, this is not one I would invest in if you're trying to grab one of these main prizes, meaning the new mount or whatever exactly you're trying to get here for you, whether it's the flame tiger, the Chinese dragon, Phosphorus, Mechazoid, whatever it is. It's not one that I would spend your money on if it's meant for a prize in this event, okay? However, there are a couple aspects to the timing, at least on my server, that make it interesting to consider. If you look at the actual event under the top up, the first 2 options here are double your diamonds for your investment. If you spend 5, you get an extra 500, 20, you get an extra 2,000, right? So essentially double the diamonds you get for your investment. What's cool about this is what I kind of mentioned at the beginning but didn't get into, is under here you will notice that the Valentine's Day event has this tier here. So depending on your advancement of your character, depending on what you have as far as your Legion, Sprites, VIP levels, this may or may not pertain to you. But for me particularly, the only reason I invested in this is because I was relatively low on rubies. And rubies to me are more important than diamonds. They're going to get you your extra resources throughout your day, buy your extra attempts. Everything that you can do to solidify your resources to upgrade your character is all for rubies, right? So when one of these comes out, what I did for this one, which is separate from the other investment, if you want to invest in this and try to get a main prize, there's only one way to do it, and it's $100 in the same day in 2 $50 increments, which we've discussed in this video and in past videos. So if you want a little more detail, check out a few of my other events, the Fairyland event and things like that. I break it down a little bit more in depth. But I don't want to keep going over and saying the same thing over and over again, so I'm going to move on here for us. The other way to invest in this one is with a $20 and a $5 investment, so $25 total, and that's what's going to get you these rubies to pay off, okay? If you look at it, when it says complete quest, the quest is actually to get $2,500 or 2,500 diamonds worth of top up. That's the quest. The quest is not a daily quest or a guild quest. It's literally spend the money. Okay, so if you do, that's the first prerequisite for all the other prizes here. And it show here, if you own Con, you get another 1,500, which I do. If you spend 2,500 diamonds, and I did that in the buy one get one to get some mount skill books, but spend them how you want. I got an extra 1,000. I have Venoris, so I got an extra 1,500. I am level or high enough for VIP level 5, so I got another 1,500. It says top up a total of 2,500 diamonds, right? Got 2,500 for that. And then the rest of them are just logins. So I'll get them from just logging in. There is one that I haven't and spend 5,000 rubies. That is in the course of the event. I don't know if I'll reach that one or not. And on that last day, it'll be a decision if I decide to go ahead and do so. If it's a net gain, right? If I've gone through my daily events over the next 5 days and I end up closer, over 4,000, essentially I'm going to do it, because at that point I'm spending less than 1,000 to get 1,000 back, and I'm just doing what I would normally do on an everyday basis. I don't know if I'll get to that point, but I may, and that's just something to consider. The others here are conversions. The only one worthy of noting is if you have extra essences of any Elysian that you don't need anymore, you can convert them over to fragment pieces to augment them. Which is pretty cool. So keep that in mind here if you have a few laying around. So just to quick mention is you will give a little bit of a boost as far as your resource tycoon event. I don't know if everybody has one on your servers, but the only reason I did a little bit is because with a little bit of investment, 25 plus the rest of it, I'll be able to at least net like a top 50, so enough to get me a token for the tycoon shop, which by the way you can save. You don't have to spend them after each one if you want to net a higher prize over the time that these events come out. Don't think you have to spend it on the last day. Okay, they do stay static, and you can get more than one, and you can spend them on any event. Okay, but with that being said, I felt that it was necessary not only for that, but my target rewards, because it gave me over 40,000 points for the resource tycoon, allowed me to net a lot of these prizes that I may or may not have achieved if I didn't. So the reason I spent it mainly was because I was out of rubies. The secondary factors were the resource tycoon event, and of course the few keys that it did give me from topping up for the other event, or the Valentine's Day event. Okay. Overall, in summary, in a nutshell, not something I would invest in as a sole prize for the Valentine's Day event by itself. If you want to or are struggling and need more diamonds, go ahead and do so through the $5 or $20 top-ups to go ahead and double your diamonds, and or reach that ruby threshold for the hot events, which is technically still under Happy Valentine's Day, but not part of the actual event. Okay. As always, I appreciate everybody watching and supporting the channel. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next episode.